This is episode 4 of Wild Magnificent, which documents the final 10-day segment of our 35-day 2018 JMT adventure. In this episode, we hiked from Squaw Lake to Happy Isles Campground in Yosemite National Park. Thanks for watching. Well, here we are. We're at Squaw Lake. Early morning, getting ready to go. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Looking down the valley there where we're going to be headed today. There's a couple of fires going on down there. Can't see the smoke quite as clear this morning, but it is hazy down there, and that's due to the fire smoke. I don't know whether that's an existing fire that they know about or something new. It just started yesterday. It's a little breezy here this morning. 42 degrees right now. The wind's probably blowing 15. Maybe an occasional gust to 20. See Kath getting ready to go there. And here's looking back towards the lake. Quite a few campers in here last night. I'd say there was at least 2 dozen people, probably 5 or 6 different groups. And the British invasion over there. A little noisy, but hey, they're young. And we got the opportunity to see Barb and Ken and Mary Ellen yesterday afternoon. They came through on their way down trail and visited for a minute on the way by. It's kind of funny, there's a little hedgerow here that separates our tent site from the trail, and Barb yelled over the hedgerow, "Hey Sam," when she saw the tent. And of course I'm on the back and we got together. Nice little get together. We're planning on possibly maybe getting together with them because they may be finishing pretty close to the same days we do, and having a beer together when we're all done to celebrate. Anyway, I'm going to finish packing up camp and be ready to go here in just a minute as soon as we get the tent down. Which means it's day 26 on the JMT hunting. Yeah. Well, Cass having a snack there. I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today. We've begun the countdown now for our end to our wilderness hiking. We've got 10 days essentially left after today. Tonight we're going to be spending the night at Purple Lake. We spent the night last night at Squaw Lake, which you can see the little circuit there behind us. It's beautiful. So we'll be proceeding down the valley for about 2 miles, and then we'll start climbing again, and then descend back down to spend the night at Purple Lake. It'll be about 7.5 miles of hiking right now. A little breezy up here this morning, as you can see. Kath and I are bundled up. We got everything we own on, and we're going to start hiking that way because it's pretty chilly. It's amazing the wind, the chill factor that wind brings, because it's 42 degrees out, but with that wind it probably feels like it's about 30. So we're going to get underway here shortly. Ready to go? All right, let's go get them. Well, we've been on the trail for about 30 minutes down from Squaw Lake, headed down to Fish Creek, about 2.1 miles. And you can pretty much see what the trail conditions have been. Doing switchbacks to the forest. Some of it's very smooth, freeway conditions. And then you come up on the occasional light to moderate road furniture, which you see right here.
Yeah. No, I was laying in bed last night and I was like, God, my feet are hurting. I feel like I have arthritis in my feet, my knees. Can't, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're working our way to Fish Creek. We've got about another 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes before we get there. Alright, we just crossed a little creek. We'll walk hop across. We leveled out here at the bottom of the, or what I think is close to the bottom of the canyon now. Trying to determine exactly where Fish Creek is. Just arrived at Fish Creek, near the water running down there. And now we're going to begin our climbing part of the day's hike up to McGee Pass Trail and Tully Hole. You just saw the sign for Tully Hole back there. So we'll be going up from like 9,200 feet to, I think it's 9,500 feet up at McGee Pass Trail. 1 mile. It's almost 9 o'clock, so we'll probably be up there around 10 o'clock or so. Very nice piece of trail here. It's flattened out. Still on our way up to McGee Pass Trail Junction here with the JMT. In the Arboretum. So walking along the creek, just dense ground cover here. Alright, here's the view on the way up to Lake Virginia. See all those switchbacks below there. Been on the trail in about 15-20 minutes. But what a great view this is. Wow. Woo! Wow. After an hour and 20 minutes, of climbing basically straight up. Finally getting a little respite here. Whew, that was a climb. It's going to level off here in this little camping area. I had my pack break back there. I'm going to continue on if that's okay.
You're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming.
I took a 15-minute break back there.
Okay.
The question is, if you call pack break and there's nobody there to hear it, does it still count?
No.
Well,
Yes.
I say it does.
Okay, so do you want some lunch?
No, not right now. I was thinking maybe we could go until about noon.
Okay, hang on, I'm coming.
Okay. Well, how's the rest of the crew doing up there?
They're doing good. They're eating their yellowfin tuna.
Yellowfin? I thought we were the only people that knew about that.
You do. Until you made your YouTube video.
Did you put mayo in it?
No, it's the one with extra virgin olive oil.
It's the one with virgin olive oil, yeah. Well, you know what? I put mayonnaise in that too.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
We
And
don't have any like little mayo packs or anything.
I'm gonna say Kath is good about treating me well. I get Tabasco, I get mustard, I get mayo. I tell you what, that was a climb though.
That was a surprise.
I'm a 71-year-old guy. That's just too much for a 71-year-old to be doing. Whew.
Oh, my hat's off to you. That's an attention getter.
And here I am 3/4 of the way up down there. I take my pack off and get my pack break. And there's these two guys with their hair on fire running down the trail. And I just went, wow.
Yeah. They were going downhill.
Yeah, that's right.
45 years makes a little difference, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. They'll wake up sooner or later. About 40 years, they'll understand.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right.
See you as you go.
Tag team. I was going to say, you're it now. You got to catch us to make us it now.
We'll try. We'll see what we can do.
All right. So check this out. Here we are at the top of the climb, or at least the initial part of the climb, up to Lake Virginia. Look at this area. You could play a soccer tournament in that area. Beautiful. Looking back the mountains here. So though we're on the top of something, because it's been nice and flat here for about the last half mile. All right, here we are walking along the edge of Lake Virginia. Beautiful. Look how blue the water is. We actually have a few clouds in the sky. That wind must have generated some clouds. We're working our way down here. We're going to get a little bit closer to the water. I'm going to have lunch, take a break, filter some water, and then basically only 2 more miles over to Purple Lake. So all in all, a good day. All right, we're starting to get a little breakout view of our lake. There's Purple Lake down there. I'm going down the switchbacks right now. Get down to the lake. As we get ready to cook dinner, another God wink. Kath and I are talking about how the only snacks we have left are Pro bars and RX bars. I put down the kitchen bag on a rock, and sitting there, pretty as you please, a fun-sized Snickers almond bar, sitting there in a Snickers-sized niche in the rock. What a joy. We were both still smiling as we snuggled up tight in our triplex for another cold, windy night. All right, here we are, day 31 in the wilderness, day 27 on the trail. Camped out at Purple Lake last night, and pretty quiet night, really. We got a nice little spot here. Got in early. We were able to take a nap. You can see the creek behind us. We were able to get all of our water down there, filter water, soak our feet, wash our face. Pretty nice stay, wasn't it? A little breezy again this morning. However, the little niche we're in here was pretty well protected. Once we get out over the bridge here and head out towards Deer Creek this morning, it's going to be a little bit more exposed, and until the sun starts beating down on us, it's going to be pretty chilly. That's why Kath and I are both still bundled up here. We'll probably be that way for at least the first hour on the trail, and there's really not too much to do today, is there, Kath? What are we doing?
7.5 miles to, it's either Deer Creek or Deer Meadow. What is it?
Deer Creek.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll be spend the night at Deer Creek. Got a little bit of up just to begin with, and by that I mean very little up, especially
After
compared to
yesterday.
yesterday. Yesterday was a killer. But a little up, and then basically it's all downhill once we get over this first little rise all the way down to Reds Meadow tomorrow. But we'll be stopping about halfway between here and Reds at Deer Creek. About 7:10 in the morning. Ready to go, honey?
I am.
All right, let's go get them.
All right.
Wow, pretty spectacular. You round a corner and your view changes completely. I think we're looking up in the direction of where Duck Lake is. We're not going up there, but we're going to be crossing the trailhead junction here with the JMT down here shortly. But look at that view. And look at these boulders piled up here. Wow. That old bad boy up there's been dropping some boulder dandruff down this way, it looks like. Got the sun on the other canyon side there. And back out to the west there. Gorgeous day. So Kath and I just finished a little pack break back there. We were both commenting that the trail conditions right now, it's like walking in the neighborhood at Robeson. And I don't think I've ever said that in the JMT yet. There's a couple of bumps here, but trail conditions, you can look right out in front of me for at least a mile. It was exactly like this. Not a piece of road furniture. Nice earthen forested trail. It's just been beautiful. In fact, I'm getting so optimistic. Of course, the trail always has something to say about how fast you're going to go. But we're thinking we may actually go a little bit further than Deer Creek when we get down there. We're just going to check the time and see how we're feeling. And if it looks like we can do it and we feel good, we may continue on to Crater Meadow, which will put us a couple of miles closer to Reds for tomorrow. Here's another breakout view for you. Pretty in a completely different way than the more exposed portions up there in the south where we started from. Magnificent. I asked him to do the rock crossing, and she says there's fish in the water, and I see them down there. And little trouters in there. And we're here way early, 45 minutes early on my guesstimate. So we're going to have lunch here. We're going to talk about whether or not we're going to continue on or not. Yeah, well, you got to get over there to that rock, that big boulder right there. Okay. You did it, honey.
Yeah.
Give me some.
It wasn't pretty.
Give me some.
It wasn't
There
pretty,
you go.
but
All right, let's go.
it worked.
Go find a place to have lunch. Oh, there we go. All right, we're looking for a place to eat lunch. Looks like there's a nice spot back here. Deer Creek. We're feeling good. We got into Deer Creek early, about 1. So 1:30 now. And we decided we're going to proceed on down to another 2.2 miles down to Upper Cone or Upper Red Cone Meadow, which will only leave us about 4 miles into Reds tomorrow, which would be great because we got a lot of activities planned for Reds. We want to eat lunch there, They're open for dinner. We want to eat dinner there. We want to go to the store. We want to see if they have a cabin we can stay in. We want to wash clothes. We want to get a shower. So this is working out good. Hiking has just been absolutely superb today. I was telling Kath, this has got to rank as one of the my top, best, most enjoyable hiking days since we started on the trail. It's just been beautiful, and you can see the trail conditions. It's been a shaded forest trail. It's a little sandy right here. Most of it's been that firm packed forest soil. Just been absolutely beautiful. So we're going to put in a 9-mile plus day today, and both of us feel good. It hasn't taken its toll like it normally does when you're doing those switchbacks, going up and down, and step ups and step downs. It's been a very gradual, basically a gradual descent down once we got to the Duck Creek crossing there. All right, talk to you when we get to Upper Cone Meadow, whatever the name of that place is, in a couple miles. All right, we're about 15 minutes into our walk over to Upper Crater Meadow, and there's the nice little meadow right there. Trail remains the same. Got the elevation on that side, and that's the side the upper cone will be on, that side of the trail when we get up here. 2.2 miles, so let's say between an hour and a half. Get over here, depending on what the trail does. All right, this is really cool. Got to tell you what this story is here. You can see we get to this Upper Crater Meadow campsite, and Kath and I, believe it or not, actually hiked down here last year from over at Mammoth Lakes. We did 5 days of altitude acclimatization here before we started our 2017 hike. And one of the days we hiked up, I think it's McClure Lake, McLeod Lake, it may be Horseshoe Lake, it's what they've got on there. But anyway, the trail brought us down to this meadow, and we thought it was really cool at the time because the bottom here you can see Red's Meadows that way. And so we came down from that trail from over Mammoth Pass, came down here and made the turn, looked at the sign, and we said, all right, we're heading over to Red's today to hike back up over the top of the mountain. So we started hiking down this trail right here, and we thought we were pretty cool because this was our first, we knew that this was part of the JMT, so this was kind of like our introduction to hike in from here down to Red's, which is about 4 miles away. And as we're walking by, we both said, man, what a great looking campsite. And guess what? Here we are a year later, and we're camped out at the very place we walked by in our little JMT training session. And what was the other cool thing about this was we came over here to this rock, and somebody had laid out in pine cones at the top of this big stone here. It was like JMT, whatever it is, 2017. And if I can find enough pine cones, there's plenty of them around here, before we leave tomorrow, if the wind doesn't start howling again, I'm going to make up our little sign. We're going to put JMT 2018 S and K or something on there, just so we can get a picture of it. Pretty cool. The beauties and the mysteries of hiking the JMT. So we went from the unknown, hiking down from Deer Creek down to here, to the known. This is something we have already done. We haven't camped out here yet, but we're going to do that tonight, and then short hike, and it's basically all downhill from here down to Reds. It'll be a very enjoyable day tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. So we just got up this morning. I'm looking at the pocket thermometer inside the tent, and it's showing 34 degrees here at Upper Crater Meadow. So it's probably at least freezing or below freezing outside. A little chilly. All right, here it is, day 32 in the wilderness. 28 on the JMT, it's 27 degrees outside. Kath and I are freezing our tushes off. We have 4 miles to go to Reds this morning.
Yay!
And we can go in and have something hot to drink and eat, honey.
Yes.
Go in the store and warm up.
I know.
Can't hardly talk because I'm so cold out here. But are we ready?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we need to get underway.
Yeah, I got
Get
stretch.
it warmed up. She's
Yep.
going to stretch and we're going to go. See you at Reds.
All right.
So here we are, back to the known. We crossed this little bridge last year when we were doing our Mammoth to Upper Cones to Reds hike and our training regimen there before we actually started the trail. A cutie, these two big old logs. What looks like lens distortion is just a natural result of the trunks of the trees curving against the severe slope to keep them from falling downhill. Here comes the youth. Go youth, go. Living the dream. Don't
You too.
leave something for us to eat at Reds, will you? Order me a double bacon and eggs, will you? And here we go. The first real indication. Kath is pointing. Let's see what Kath is pointing at. Reds Meadow Resort and Pack Station. Woohoo! And I actually saw a pickup truck drive down a road there, so they're definitely close to Reds.
Double bacon, right?
Double bacon. You remember, thank you. Bus stop. Here's the schedule. Starts at 10 a.m. Ends at 3:30. Mule House Cafe is open. The most popular place at Red's Meadow for thru hikers.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks. Walk-in sites are 38 ABC, $23 per night per site. And it's split between the hikers. If you choose another site, it's $23 a night. And it's got a little map. So I'm kind of wandering around Red's Meadow store. Kath is back there checking on our resupply bucket.
Okay,
Yes, dear.
so we got the bucket. There is no room for us.
Okay.
We can go, and it's first come, first serve with the hiker.
Hiker. Okay.
Backpacking thing, but do you want to eat first and then go down
No,
there?
let's go
or-
down and get a side first.
Okay,
and
we
then
have to
come
pay
back
down
and eat.
there.
Okay.
All right, it's
It's campsite 34. Got a little shade over here. Got a nice level spot to put up our tent in. A little fire pit, picnic table, bear box. All in all, a very nice place to stay. Hi, how are you? Man,
husband Sam.
riding in style.
This is Susan.
Hi Susan, how are you?
Yeah. So,
You're going to be part of our 2018 JMT YouTube movie.
So we get to use our senior pass.
Oh, good.
So it's $11.50.
Wow,
I think that's what you said, right?
that is awesome.
And we just hang a reserved sign, and nobody can hop in. Is that right?
That's it. Which site do you want?
This one,
This one?
34.
34.
Yes, please. Beautiful, maintained buildings here. Yeah, we see you. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, go on. Eat your blade of grass. And you are who from where?
Jerry and Gracie from California.
California?
Yeah.
Where at in
Tulare,
California?
California.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So what planted the seed? I'm asking everybody that's in my movie. What planted the seed between you two? Who was the instigator? How did you guys make the decision you wanted to hike the John Muir Trail?
Well, we did the High Sierra Trail 2 years ago.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's all the way from Kings Canyon to
Yes.
Whitney.
Yes.
And our bucket list was say we're going to do the JMT. And we planned this, and we've done many hikes, and we eventually made a decision to do this. We had a buddy who set up the plan for us,
Oh,
got
good.
the permit for us,
Oh, good.
was supposed to go with us,
Yeah.
but he had some family issues
Oh, man.
and couldn't make it. So we finishing the journey for him, and he's going to meet us somewhere in Kings Canyon
Oh, good.
for a food drop and
Oh,
just to
good.
say hi. And
So you started Happy Isles then?
Happy Isles
Oh, great.
5 days ago.
5 days
or
ago.
6 days ago. This is
Yeah.
our 6th day out.
Was it a little cold last night?
Not here.
Not here,
We stayed
no?
here last night
Oh, okay.
at Red's Meadow. The previous night was Thousand Islands Lakes, and it was windy, probably 50-mile winds,
Oh, yeah.
and very
Oh,
cold.
yeah.
But other than that, we've been averaging about 14 miles a day.
Oh, that's good. My wife and I are out here. This is our second time. We tried to do it last year, and she hurt her ankle, and we had to go off at Lake Edison. So they gave me the lowdown on the showers.
Oh yeah.
You get the tokens in the store,
Okay.
and he said he took a shower last night for $5. He said it just ran forever. So that's what we
Sounds
want.
good. Yeah, and
First
they
I have
have,
to satisfy my
in the
tummy.
laundromat, you can wash your clothes.
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I
washed
was
all our
gonna
clothes.
check out the laundry.
Yep, it's good. We did
Is
that
it?
last
You
night.
did that too?
Yes.
Yeah, we stayed up till 11:30 last night.
Ah,
We'll
good.
wash the
Doing
laundry, shower.
chores, yeah, it's good. So
Yeah.
where's your next resupply at? Then?
Next week, VVR.
Oh, VVR.
Vermilion
Oh,
Valley
good.
Resort.
Yeah,
off
we've
Lake
been there.
Edison.
Yeah.
So we plan on getting there in 4 days.
Good, good. They're doing about 15 miles a day. They said. So.
Too much for us.
Well, today we're going to slow down.
Good.
We're only doing about 6.
Oh, good.
There you go.
So we're at today.
We're looking at our map, Deer Creek Trail.
Yeah, Deer Creek's
Looks
nice
like there's a spot.
campsites up there.
Oh, those
Very
campsites
nice.
are beautiful.
This side of the water
Creek.
when you get up there.
Is that
Yeah.
where you guys came from then?
We were supposed to
ate
stay there.
lunch there.
We ate lunch there, and we were feeling so good coming downhill yesterday. We went all the way to Upper Crater Meadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I hiked in from there this morning.
So, well, that's good. I'm glad
All
you
right.
guys are taking
Yeah,
a picture.
I'm glad that you are going to be a part of my movie. Be looking for it.
Okay.
YouTube, put in Sam Goodrich. That's my name.
Sam Goodrich.
And
Okay.
you'll see what we did last year, and be looking for the movie to come out for this year's hike about November, because I have to process all this film and pictures and stuff. So,
Sounds good.
all right.
Thank you, Sam.
Good luck. Be safe.
All right.
All right. Okay,
Real
Kath.
coffee.
We're having real coffee at Red's restaurant. And what did you order for breakfast, honey?
I ordered the number 4.
Which is?
French toast, scrambled eggs, and bacon.
So Kath had number 4, and I ordered the Packer Special, which is 3 pancakes, 2 eggs, and sausage. And I had my eggs scrambled. And now we're enjoying a hot cup of steamed dough that we didn't have to boil the water for. And there's water. This is awesome. All right, Kath and I just finished the big breakfast in the restaurant there. It's about 11 o'clock. Kath is over there in the ladies' end of the shower stalls. I've got my towel here ready to go and my rain gear, which I'll be putting on. We're going to be doing some laundry at some point after we take a shower. However, somebody's already using the washing machines and the laundry, so we're going to have to wait. So while that's going on, I'm going to come over to the guy's side over here and get a shower, and we'll see you all in just a few minutes. After our showers, we wash clothes and get a unexpected but very pleasant surprise. Trilby shows up to visit. She tells Kath and I the story of her own adventure after we left her at Chicken Spring Lake 26 days ago. And as she got a story to tell. We make plans to meet her at Red's restaurant that evening. As if visiting with Trilby is not enough excitement, we also run into Terry, whom we have not seen since we saw her, Steve, and Corey exiting over Kearsarge Pass to resupply 19 days ago. To make a long story short, Steve got food poisoning and had to depart. Corey departed at Bishop Pass, so Terry is the only remaining hiker left of the 3. Another spellbinding adventure and adventurer. There you go. It's about 4 o'clock, and we're in here for the second time into the Red's Meadow restaurant. Getting a little hiker hunger going here. So we're going to decide what we're going to eat this time around. Alright, Kath has got the cheeseburger with a pasta salad and a chocolate milkshake. I ended up with the root beer float, and I got the double cheeseburger with a side of potato salad. And I've got some jalapeno chips that I purchased over at the store. After stuffing our faces earlier, we just have dessert with Trilby that evening, and she regales us with stories about her stay at Rock Creek and the fellow JMT dreamers she met there. All right, here we are, 33 days in the wilderness now. We only have 7 days to go. And we're getting ready to depart out of Red's Meadow. Had a great time here yesterday, didn't we, Kat?
So nice.
Yeah, got a shower, we got our clothes washed, we ate in the restaurant.
And ate. 3 times.
3 times yesterday. And we're going to go over and have breakfast this morning in just a minute. But where are we headed today, Hank?
Gladys Lake.
Gladys Lake, and how far is that?
It's about 8 miles.
About 8 miles. We'll be climbing most of the way, so we're going to go over and have a good hike or breakfast and get ourselves started. But we really enjoyed our stay at Red's. It's another hike of Christmas for us, wasn't it?
It was. It was very nice.
All right. Well, you ready to go?
I am.
Let's go get it. Two strangers over there have been following us. I want to report those 2 guys to somebody. They've been stalking us all the way. How long were you guys? I mean, how long? How was it in town last night? Where'd you go?
Oh, we tore it up.
You did?
Rolled in this morning at 4 a.m. We're hungover this morning. We went out and had pizza last night.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if I hadn't seen you here at breakfast, though, there would have been some issues because there's a problem if you guys aren't in here eating the same time we are. You got to load up.
All packed up already?
Yeah, we have to. We're ready to
You want
go.
those beers I owe you right now? Let's start drinking some beers.
No, I had, and actually, I bought 2 Blue Moons yesterday, Lance, after I saw you. And I had one in the campsite, and I couldn't drink the other one, so I went right next door, and there was a lady and a man that we met. And I said, anybody here? I only have one left. Anybody want a Blue Moon? And the guy goes, and he points at her, and she
Oh,
goes,
yeah?
she was singing my praises. I gave her that Blue Moon. She was really happy. So you guys are heading out this morning, right? Yeah, we are too.
Northbound.
Northbound.
See how far we get.
See how far you get, exactly.
You got a lot of miles in you today?
Well, 8 maximum. Yeah, we may do less, but only 8.
That's a good start for the first day back.
Yeah,
Taking a,
yeah.
That's what it is. It's like this. We'll get to one of the lakes up there.
Yeah, one of the lakes. There's a bunch of them, so. Yeah, you guys are doing good. Keep it up.
like you guys, we can only wish. We can only wish someday.
Well, you can come out next year. You can come out and do it again.
We could. Are you guys back here next year?
No, we're going to probably be up in Washington State.
No, I think you guys should do the PCT. I'm going to go ahead and put that on your calendar.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're done with this, we'll give you a week off, and then you can start your PCT.
Okay.
All your YouTube fans want to see it. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, here we go. This is why I had this camera out, to get the picture of the food. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, I need another napkin.
All right, Kath, where are we?
We are at Red's.
Yeah, where are we going?
Getting ready to go to Happy Isles.
57 miles to Happy Isles. And where's that arrow pointing?
That way.
Down that trail, half a mile across over the bridge, over the river, and then we'll be
Through the woods.
through the woods
Over the river and through the woods.
and
River
up
has-
and
yeah.
up the mountain.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go. Beautiful walk in the woods again this morning. Got a little cloud cover, but nice day. Gonna be another great day on the JMT.
Morning.
Morning. How are you? Good morning.
Your ranger? get your picture, sir?
Yes. Yes.
We've been getting pictures of all the rangers.
Okay. All right, here's the boundary. Right on the line. Devil's Post Pile on this side, and Inyo National Forest to the right. We just passed the split between the JMT and the PCT back there. Kath was saying that the PCT actually splits off a little while before it comes back to the JMT up around Tuolumne, and of course then after Tuolumne the PCT splits off and heads up towards Lake Tahoe, Reno, that area. And when we get to Tuolumne, of course, we're going to make a left turn there, head west, and go up over Cathedral Pass and then down into Yosemite Valley. And there's the entering Devil's Post Pile going back the direction from where we just came from. We're headed up towards Minaret Lake, where the junction was where the PCT split off. That's also the junction that split off to go to Minaret Falls. So we're on the JMT. We're where we need to be. Kath and I stopped for a little pack break, about an hour and 20 minutes into our hike up to Minaret Lake. And this is the view. Beautiful, forested. Kind of cool to be in the tree line now and see these mountaintops that aren't quite as high as the ones on the south end, and they're just covered with trees. Beautiful day out here today. On the way up the JMT towards Beck's Lake Trail Junction and the Minaret Creek Junction. I finally got my waypoint straight. I looked at the map here at our last rest stop. We're not going to Minaret Lake, so we're proceeding along the JMT, and we've yet to see the Beck's Lake Trail Junction or the Minaret Creek Junction, which I think is just a little bit ahead here, maybe a mile or so. After we leave Minaret Creek, that's where the real climbing begins. We'll be at like 8,100 feet, and then we'll have to climb up about 1,400 feet over the next 3.5 miles to Trinity Lakes, which is 3.5 miles up the road from Minaret Creek Junction. That's the big climb of the day. And then from Trinity Lakes, it's only a mile further to Gladys Lake, which is where we're planning on spending the night. And the elevation gain there is like 150 feet is all over that mile, so that won't be big. It's the one from the Minaret Creek Junction up to Trinity Lakes. It's the biggie. But the beautiful trail, as you can see, wooded. The path is very smooth. Freeway conditions here. Even on the uphill, we do have our occasional step ups and step downs. A few roots may extend, but it's just occasional now. Walking conditions are great. Temperature is perfect. We got partly cloudy skies this morning, which is the first time I think I've said that in about 3 weeks. And it's very nice. You can see it's shaded here. So it's cool, nice and cool this morning. Great hiking weather. And we're enjoying the heck out of it, just as we have just about every day out here. It's been wonderful. Completely different kind of beauty here in this half of the trail, but every bit as gorgeous as the southern part, which is more exposed. So it looks like a water crossing over there, but there's no signage that I could see. So no sign. And I'm wondering if this is where this breaks off to go to Beck's Lake. And that's a trail over there. Because I don't remember anything going off to the right from the maps. You think what?
I think we're just going this way, aren't we?
Okay, we need to take the maps out again because we're here at the intersection of Minaret Lake, which goes that way, and Shadow Lake, which goes that way, and also Johnston Lake, which is back that way, which we just passed. So I'm pretty sure we're headed up to Shadow Lake area, that direction. We won't go to Shadow Lake today, but this is the direction we want to be on the JMT. We do have a JMT scratch in here. I'm going to double check this on gut hooks, make sure we're headed the right direction, but we're going to proceed right up here. I've got gut hooks in my pocket and we will check it as we go. Alright, we're approaching 3 hours in on our hike up to Gladys Lake, and we're getting ready to make the assault the last couple of miles up to Trinity Lakes, which is a mile short of Gladys Lake. We just took a 15-minute snack break. Kath is headed out, and having a lot of fun with both Lance and Mike, who we met down near the Sally Keys Lake area. They just went by us again this morning. We've been harassing each other about who's stalking who on the trail, because we've been teaming them on and off basically since we left MTR, so it's been great. It's always nice to have some hiking soulmates out here that are living the dream the same way you are. They're both northbound, and I think from what Lance said, he and Mike will be finishing up about a day ahead of us there at Yosemite. So I'm going to proceed on up. This next couple of miles are going to be tough for this old man, 71-year-old man. Going to go up 1,200 feet in elevation gain here from 8,100 is where we had lunch, or excuse me, a snack. And we've got about a 1,200 foot elevation gain here in the next 2 miles. So I'm gritting my teeth and off we go. We finally, after almost 5 hours, made it to the Trinity Lakes area. You see one of the lakes there. So we have a mile to go until we get to Gladys Lake and take back break. Yeah, let's take a pack break. I need one. I think that's the Trinity Lake over there. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks like a good tree. That other lake that we passed was beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. That's a nice little wall of granite. And then another hiker present. We got a bridge. You know, it looks like bridges. All right, about 30 minutes out from Gladys Lake. Kath corrected me and said it's not Gladys, but it's Gladys. And that woman spelled that name G-L-A-D-Y-S. So Gladys it is. Got a little low bridge here. I'm gonna squat down to get underneath this thing. There we go. Down on the lake level. Kath has seen our first potential campsite. I'm going to take a look at some of the other sites here. According to Recon, further on around to the right, There's some more. That one back there would be pretty protected though, so we may come back to that one. The wind has been gusting a little bit, so we're looking for a site that's got a little protection from the wind. We're sitting down pretty low here, which is good. Got a big bluff off to the left and the lake on the right, so we'll see what we can find here. So wow, here it is. It's 1:55. We got here about 1:45. We found this unbelievable camping spot, which is protected by all these trees because it is pretty breezy out here today. But look at that over there. Cass over there by the fire pit. We got furniture over there. We've got a nice leaning rock to sit on, or some flatter rocks to sit on for lunch. And the trail basically is right down there. And another 50, maybe 80 feet from the trail down there is the edge of the water, so we can go down there and stick our feet in there and soak our feet and filter some water down there. Well, actually get a bag of water and bring it up here where we can filter it. Beautiful spot. So be able to do all that, take a nap, and just have a lovely time at Camp Goodrich, which is located today at Gladys Lake. All right, honey, here we are. It's day 34 in the wilderness, day 30 on our JMT adventure. We spent the night here at Gladys Lake. We had one of the prettier campsites we've had all trip long. Lake in the background. I got some great time-lapse photography of the sunrise this morning. I sure hope it comes out. So what's the plan today, Kath?
We are going either 8 miles to Ruby Lake or maybe 10 up near Thousand Island Lake or a little further.
Okay, so we're leaving it open because we got our hiking legs and we were moving pretty quick yesterday. We'll see whether or not we can do a replay of yesterday. And the good news from yesterday too, I forgot to mention, is both Texas Tech and Michigan won.
Yay!
Yay! Go Raiders!
Well, go blue.
Go blue too, yeah. All right, we ready to go, honey?
Yeah, we are.
All right, let's go. All right, descending down from Gladys Lake to Rosalie Lake, and then on down to Shadow Lake. We're about 3 miles from Shadow Lake and about a mile from Rosalie Lake. Okay, we're already getting down to Rosalie Lake level. You can see the lake there through the trees. And the map showed this was about a mile. Of course, I could have misread the map too. Maybe only been a half a mile. Beautiful lake here. So Rosalie Lake, call this next few miles, we're going to be walking the lake section of the trail here, the northern end of the trail, because we went by Trinity Lakes yesterday. So we camped at Gladys. This is Rosalie, and a couple more miles down the road it's Shadow Lake, and then up from Shadow you go to Garnet Lake, and then Ruby Lake, and then Thousand Island Lakes. So there's a bunch of lakes here in the next 8 to 10 miles. Wow, this is pretty spectacular this morning, especially where that sun is there. I'm going to try to get down a little bit closer to the water for an unobstructed view here. There you go. Gladys, or excuse me, Rosalie Lake action right here. Alright, since we left Rosalie Lake, we've been sitting on a nice little set of switchbacks without obnoxious road furniture. But we're just starting to pick up our first glimpse of Shadow Lake. See that down there? See one of the switchbacks coming up here. Beautiful tree. We're working our way down to Shadow Lake. And then Shadow is basically the bottom of the down for this section of the trail, and we'll begin climbing again to get up to the other lakes that I was telling you about, Garnet, Ruby, and Thousand Island at the end of the climb. Making good time this morning. I see Kath down there in the switchback below me. Still a lot of shade here. I've still got my puffy and my gloves on. Kath has already taken all that stuff off. She's warmer blooded than I am this morning. I've been trying to keep moving to stay warm. And it's really not that cold this morning. It's just that I think I got a little chilled yesterday hiking in that wind. So, feeling better. Now I can actually feel my extremities warming up there. So, keep on moving, as they say in the hiking world. Get from point A to point B. Lake. I'm gonna take a back break. I'm looking for a campground down here. There's supposed to be one. At least one. And we'll take a few minutes there to rest, to drink, and then we'll start our climb back up towards Garnet, Ruby, and Thousand Island Lakes. Alright, here we go. Garnet Lake is the top one, and that's where Kath's going. Easy Lake is this one to the left, and I believe this is the Shadow Creek junction. Shadow Creek Trail junction. And of course Shadow Lake's back there where we just came from. good day. All right, out of the Big Rock Candy Mountain. That's where we came from, through all those rocks. Getting ready to crest the top of the canyon here. There's some views for you. A lot of snow up there compared to what we've seen this year. See a little cirque down there that's completely dried up, and I'm assuming that the lake, Garnet Lake, is down past those trees at the next level down there. Beautiful view here though. Wow. Alright, here you go. There's a pretty good view of Garnet Lake. We got a few switchbacks to do to get down the lake level though.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's a big one. You can see how it gets fed too. All that snow still up there. Gonna be some of it. That one going downhill now. Alright, after another pretty good little climb up out of Garnet Lake, we're descending down to Ruby Lake. And I know rubies are supposed to be red, but I think they named this lake after the shape. It's got that, I'm not a shapes major, so I don't know, polygon shape with the pointy tips on each end. Alright, here we are at Ruby Lake. We've made the decision to continue on up to Garnet and Thousand Island. So another 1.2 miles to go. Beautiful lake. Well, that didn't take very long. We're already over our little elevation bump there and down to Emerald Lake. And I don't know whether it's shaped like an emerald or not, but I think they just got in the swing of naming lakes by pieces of jewelry stone, and they just continued on until they ran out of ideas and came to Thousand Island Lake. It's got a lot of little islands in it, and so they started naming the lakes with islands. Alright, descending down to Emerald Lake. It's supposed to be a campground up down here near the water. Check it out. So we're looking at our John Muir Trail Pocket Atlas, the second edition there, and you can see the cover photo. Beautiful picture of a mountain. I never knew where that mountain was until we came here to camp out at Thousand Island Lake. So guess what? If you look over there, that's the same mountain. Pretty cool. Just got a little bit different snow pattern on it this year, but same old mountain. And you can see what kind of a view we have tonight. There's our tent. We're setting up for a windy night. And for those of you who have never heard of the terminology Big Rock, Little Rock, well, this is called the Big Rock, the Little Rock, the Big Rock, the Little Rock, the Bigger Rock, and the Bigger Rock. Because we're trying to batten down our hatches, we think we may have a little bit more breezy night than we had last night. So this is just a precaution to make sure our tent doesn't take off and fly away without us. So we're all set up. And this is what you have to do for those of you that have not been backpacking, wilderness backpacking. The Big Rock, Little Rock idea is to help you get your tent up when you can't put stakes in the ground, because this ground has got a little bit of sand on about the top 3 inches of it, and then the rest of it is granite underneath there, I'm sure. But we did all that in the wind, didn't we, honey? Okay, so got that taken care of. I've had my snack. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down towards that mountain there and get some water out of that big lake down there and drag it back up here so we can start filtering, because we're going to need a couple of buckets to get us up to the top of wherever we go tomorrow. We're hoping to go over Donahue, yes.
We will.
And Cass says we will. We eat dinner and hunker down for what we expect will be another windy night, but it is not. The wind calms down and I'm actually able to get outside the tent that night and shoot some night lapse video in a crystal clear JMT sky. Another magnificent day. All right, here we are, day 35 in the wilderness and day 31 on our JMT Adventure Cat.
Yep.
So where are we this morning?
We are at Thousand Island Lakes.
Yeah, and in the background there you can see Banner Peak.
Beautiful.
And those of you that are familiar with Blackwoods Press and the John Muir Trail Pocket Atlas, the picture that's on the front cover of that document is the same mountain back there with a little bit more snow on it than what we've got this year. So what's the plan today, Kath?
We are going over Island Pass and Donner Pass and
Donahue. Not Donner. Donner's for the Donner Party passed away. We
There
don't
you
want to
go.
get that
We
in
don't
our
want to
head.
go there.
No.
Okay. Donahue Pass.
Yes.
And probably stopping at, I don't know, one of the campgrounds shortly thereafter.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yep.
Let's get her done.
All right.
All right. So Kath is doing some stretching. We're going to just take a look around. You can see our packs up there just past where Kath is stretching. That's where we spent the night last night. And we're going to be climbing up that ridge line right over there. Is where we're going to be. And we're going to have to do about a 1,300 foot elevation gain to get all the way over Donner Pass. 1.7 miles up to, yeah. Now Cass got me say it, Donner. It's Donahue Pass. All right, we're closing in on the first pass of the day. We're about 3/10 of a mile from Island Pass. Beautiful little area right here. It's got a couple of small lakes in it, or tarns. Yeah. You can see what a glorious morning it is. And up in the distance up there, I'm guessing one of those two dips. There's one that's kind of hidden by this first ridge line here on the left. That's either Donahue or the one in the middle there. Let's see how good my guessing is, since it's the first time I've ever been to Donahue Pass. But beautiful up here. And it didn't take us long to get up here. It's 8:30 now. We started at 8:40, so less than an hour. We're probably going to be right at an hour when we get to Island Pass. So I thought we had left Banner Peak behind, but obviously not. We're standing at Island Pass, and somewhere down there in that group of mountains, either straight ahead or to the left or to the right, somewhere up there is Donahue Pass. And we only have 1,000 foot elevation gain from here because we're already at 10,250 feet here. So we'll see what we shall see. This is the unknown. That's why it's fun. All right, I believe we are at Rush Creek and right on the money. 2 hours in on our hike. Got the first 3 miles. Little creek crossing. You can see the mighty Rush is not rushing today. Kath. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to continue on there. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna drop my bag off over here. So here's the Pacific Crest Trail. Island Pass, Donahue Pass, kind of where to get lost. Donahue Pass goes that direction. And we've got another little trail here that crosses Rush Creek. And this says the Rush Creek Trail. How about that? Jim Lake and Silver Lake going that way. Okay. I think we're getting ready to start our last serious climb of the day. 1,500 feet elevation gain up to Donahue Pass at 3.7 miles. Now we've begun our ascent up to Donahue Pass and down at Rush Creek. Nice little spot here along the trail. We actually have a little dip down here, so you can see the water flowing there. It's another gorgeous day on the JMT. So what do you see? Boobs or butt cheeks? You gotta make up your own decision about what you see. The Maria Lakes Trailhead, that means we've gone a mile. And we've done it in about 50 minutes, which is good. Looks like Cap is declaring a pack break up here. Pack break. Yeah, every hour, every 45 minutes is even better. All right, a little upper elevation meadow or clearing. You can see a tarn there. It's got water. Seeing a lot of dry ones coming up here. And if I were a betting man, I would say that that little gap right there may be the one. But we got to leave the door open too. This one right here looks pretty good too. All right, still on our upward haul. It's 11:46. It's been about 3.5 hours since we started up. Actually 4 hours. We started at 7:40. And the picture's getting a little clearer. This little block of granite. There's a couple of possibilities still open. I think it's going to be that one, or maybe that one. So fool me again, I thought that was our pass, but I really got this thing tucked back in here. Didn't see it until right towards the end. I see people hiking up there now. A little gap, little dip there behind that tree. That's Donahue from the looking at it from the south side. About halfway up the last 1.5 miles up to the top of Donahue Pass. You can see Cap ahead of me there. It's that big craggy knoll. We're getting closer. It's been interesting. We have gotten into the step-ups now, and it's really pretty cool because obviously there's been a lot of maintenance done here, and it's nice to see. Here's one that's not a finished product, but here's a nice little set of steps climbing on up there to where Kath is. The hard thing about doing steps is that you're doing them at 10,000 plus feet. Alright, so the pass is in sight. We got a guy standing up there in the ledge looking down, gloating because he's up there and we're down here. Probably just taking pictures. It's amazing what goes through your head when you're hiking. So we got that last little wall to go up there, and then we'll be there. Donahue Pass, 2 passes in one day. Donahue's at 11,055 feet. Amazing. Alright, we made it down to the Lyle Base Camp. I'm going to end up crossing the lake down here where the trail comes down at the end of the lake. I'm going to see a pretty good spot nobody else has picked out yet, but we'll see whether that lasts or not. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can find a spot. Alright, this is our campsite at Upper Lyle Base Camp. There you go. Nice little lake back there, feeding down into a stream. Beautiful. You get an idea of what the area is like here. It's beautiful. Got snow up there. That mountaintop up there. Earlier today we had deer drinking out of the water right here, right by the campsite. It's going to be a windy one tonight. Here we are, day 36, Kath, in the wilderness, and day 32 on the JMT. We only have 3 days left, you realize that?
I know, incredible. We're
going to get into Tuolumne a day early, which is today.
Yep.
Got a 10-mile hike, and then we'll be finishing up in the Happy Isles on Thursday, right? Friday. Finishing up on Friday. So this is also another milestone. Of course, we went over 2 passes yesterday. Our 11th and 12th passes were Island Pass and Donahue Pass. And this was our last night above 10,000 feet, camping out above 10,000 feet this year.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
And it was not all that cold. It was like 45 degrees. And
no wind.
Well, occasional gusts this morning.
A little bit, but really not bad. So what's the plan for today, honey?
Well, to get to Tuolumne, it's going to be 10 miles, but 2 miles is down.
Right.
And it's going to be probably a kind of a road furniture mess.
For the first 2 miles, yeah.
And then the last 8 miles is just like meadow and forest, and it's
in Lyle Canyon, which is nice, beautiful.
Pretty level.
Right. So, are we ready to go yet? Are you finished with breakfast?
I am not finished.
Kath is going to finish breakfast.
2 minutes.
Yes.
And then we'll be
finishing breakfast, and then we're going to be hitting the trail. Let's go do it.
Okay.
All right. Alright, here we are descending down in the Lyle Canyon. You see the canyon floor down there, a few miles away. Next geographic stop on our point on our trip downward is the Lyle Forks Bridge, which is about a mile down. Gotta say something about the trail maintenance up here. It's unbelievable how much work they put in to put steps in. Still have to step down, but they really made an effort to make it user friendly. You can see some of the work here. Just beautiful. I wonder how many years and how many people have been up here working at this. It really is something to see, and the fall colors are coming in. Nights are starting to get colder. It's I think 41 degrees in the tent this morning. It's 37 degrees outside. It's a little chilly. Thankfully no wind. Alright, here we are. We're rapidly approaching Lyle Forks Bridge, or Lyle Fork Bridge. It's our first geographic point on our journey. 8/10 of a mile down from upper Lyle Base Camp. And we're doing pretty good on the time. It only took us 40 minutes to get down here. Now they're gonna be another beautiful morning. Sun's not down here in the valley yet where we're at, but it's creeping down the opposite wall, as you can see through the trees there. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Lyle Fork or Lyle Forks Bridge. There you go. Beautiful. Look at this stonework in the middle here. Pretty gentle. I would imagine during the springtime that water comes rushing down through here though. See the canyon wall back there. Sun's coming up rapidly. Another beautiful day in the JMT. I did not wear any hand protection on the JMT, and both my thumbs and index fingertips ended up with the skin splitting open. A painful and needless injury which could easily have been prevented with a good pair of hiking gloves. Alright, another pretty spectacular view of the valley floor down there. The sun creeping now over both sides of the Lyle Canyon wall. We've kind of been on intermittent sunlight here for a while, so we're on the good side for this descent because the sun will be over here more quickly. That east side over there is a shady side this morning. You can see the sun's just barely getting over the top of that right now. Spectacular views. I'm so glad that Kath and I decided to start when we did, because of the fires earlier. At the beginning of our hike up in Yosemite, you know, they had Yosemite closed for a while, not because of so much the fires in Yosemite, but because of the smoke. So for about 2 weeks there. Now it's crystal clear. Isn't that beautiful? Takes your breath away. And again, it's that lighting. Yeah, to watch that, I guess that's the Lyle Creek or Lyle River or whatever the heck it is, runs through there. See that meander through that valley down there. All right, out of the stone steps going down. Beautiful little forested path there we just got onto. Going through the trees there. I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's very nice. It's like Kath's already gotten into some mixed road furniture down here, so it didn't last very long. Gorgeous back in here. And it looks like I'm seeing some meadow up there, which indicates we're pretty much at the bottom. I think there's a little bit of elevation drop between Loud Forks and Evelyn Lake Trailhead there, but that's 3 more miles down the road. Did good. Took us about a little over 2 hours with stops to get down here. You can do your happy dance, honey. Do it. Do it. You made it. Onward to Evelyn Lake Trail Junction. 3 miles ahead, and now you got happy feet. Happy feet on a nice forested trail down Lyle Canyon.
Oh, yay. Oh,
And it took us just over 2 hours with stops to get out, Kath.
I told you.
So you did good. Got a beautiful meadow coming up here.
Yeah, but now we're going to eat them up.
Now we're going to go like a rabbit,
Well,
or rabbits.
not necessarily.
How about older rabbits?
But we will be moving a little.
Yeah, well, we can stretch it out here without worrying about breaking a leg trying to go down over some rock staircase. Wow, Canyon.
That's my estimate.
What?
2 miles an hour.
2 miles an hour. My estimate is 1.5 miles an hour with stops. So you can compute that out. We will be at Evelyn Lake. It's 9:20 now. It'll be 10:20. It'll be 10:50 when we get to Evelyn Lake Trail Junction.
Oh, look at this beautiful meadow. Oh my gosh. Sun. Flat.
Sun, flat. Now that guy said there was a hot meal down here. He said he was looking for water, sun, and a hot meal. So maybe the food truck's down here too. Yes, boys and girls, this is what JMT hikers dream about when they're hiking northbound.
This is incredible.
This is why I signed up to do the JMT with my sweetheart. What a pleasure. Kath and I have been walking for a good 15 to 20 minutes since we entered this meadow area. And it's just been one long, continuous, flat, earthen, forested, and meadow path. What a pleasure after all of the up and downs of the last 36 days. What a pleasure. Away from the meadow and back in the trees, and we're doing a little curlicue here, doing open space here in the trees. The creek, Loud Forks Creek, is off to the right. There's the water running down there, and we've got a couple of little pieces of road furniture, nothing bad, and the trail is pretty level. Alright, we just finished lunch, getting back on the trail. See, we picked a beautiful spot, another lush and luxurious and eternal meadow. Meadows just keep going on and on here. Earlier I was behind a guy who's hiking in front of me, and the deer went right across in front of him on the trail. Pretty funny. I came up after he'd gone by, and there was a mama deer and a baby deer there hiding in the woods, staring at me with their ears all pointed up and their big old eyeballs staring out. Alright, we're very near Tuolumne. Just check that hooks. Less than a mile. Completely dry. That's what I call dry. One dry hush puppy.
Dry. Dry.
I can feel it though in my lungs, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that gives you some indication of how dry it's been here this year. Talked to a couple there, Muir Trail Ranch, and was talking about how dusty the trail was in Yosemite, or out of Yosemite over towards Tuolumne. Alright, we got to Tuolumne Meadows, 0.6 to go here on this trail. This is the east cutoff into Tuolumne. This will bring us out near the lodge down here. Half a mile. Another 15 or 20 minutes hiking. Medic. Hello. Go over all the bridges and stay to the right. Alright, this is the bridge into Tuolumne. Headed up toward the lodge. You see it?
That's a fat bunny.
That looks like a pet rabbit right there.
Looks like it belongs in Nick's yard.
Yeah, that's a pet rabbit. It's a fat one too. So we have a little surprise for you this morning. For those of you that are following along on our JMT hiking adventure, you can see there's our pickup truck and there's Kat. She just finished putting her gear in there. We're getting ready to do our morning update. And it's pretty obvious that we stayed in a hotel last night, which was great. Had a beautiful garden out here. That building you see back there with the open sign on it is a restaurant. We had dinner there last night. We had breakfast this morning. And Kath, why don't you weigh in here and kind of tell everybody what we've been up to. So what happened?
Well, so we are a day early. We're a day early getting into Tuolumne. So we decided instead of staying in Tuolumne at the campgrounds, we would drive into Lee Vining. So we drove into Lee Vining and had got a room at a lodge and had a shower and washed my hair and washed clothes and had a great dinner last night and a wonderful breakfast this morning, and we got to sleep in a bed.
What do we have for breakfast this morning, honey?
I had ham and cheese frittata and fresh raspberry scone and coffee, lots of coffee.
And I had 2 raspberry scones and their steel cut oatmeal, which looked like a boat when they brought it out. It had cinnamon, not cinnamon, it had brown sugar, raisins, and whatever else you put on oatmeal. I had it all put on there. Two large cups of coffee. It was wonderful.
It
So,
was good.
what's our game plan for the day, honey?
Well, we're going to try to get up near Cathedral Pass. Don't know whether we'll be over it or before it or
Are we gonna
what, but
drive
we're
up?
late. We have to drive up to back to Yosemite.
Yeah, but I was talking, we're not going to drive up at Cathedral Pass.
No,
are we?
we're going to hike.
Yeah, so we're driving the
10
truck back
miles.
to where we had it parked yesterday at Tuolumne at the Wilderness Center. We're going to drop the truck off there, and then we're going to hike up towards Cathedral Pass. Tuolumne Meadows Wilderness Center over there. We just arrived back here at the Wilderness Center parking area, and we put our truck here in the slot. We're going to be rejoining the trail here immediately behind the Wilderness Center. It goes back there behind it, and then hiking down to the Cathedral Pass trailhead, where we'll start up over Cathedral Pass and then down into Yosemite Valley in a couple of days. See Kath and I's packs all ready to go. So we're excited. All right, here's some more trail wildlife for you. You never know what you're going to see on the John Muir Trail. But there you go. We located the traditional route for the JMT, which takes you out into the meadow on the north side of RA 120. And we're proceeding along that route through the meadow right now. Morning. Good morning.
We're watching the fish. We're hiking.
Yeah,
How
we're going to
fun.
finish up the John Muir Trail here in the next couple of days. And here we are at the Visitor Center. Kath and I are going to hike down here to where it intersects, and then we're going to head on up the Go to Yosemite. Alrighty, here's the sign that means a lot. 21 miles to Yosemite Valley. Alright, Cathedral Pass Trail. Bam. Right off the bat. Remember this from last year. They take you basically straight up. First 1,200 feet. So it's nicely maintained. You don't have a lot of big step ups, but it's just up and up and up. Another beautiful morning though. Just about 35 minutes in on our hike today. We got over the first cataract hill, or cataract? Cardiac hill, yeah.
Northbound again.
Okay.
And where's Cottonwood Pass where you guys started?
It's on the other side. It's south of Whitney. It's off.
Oh, it's south of Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah, 31 miles to get
Oh, so you guys did the
Horseshoe
super
Meadows.
JMT.
Yeah, we did.
Nice. You guys are so close.
They just started,
No,
so they did that long climb out of Happy Isles.
Yeah, that was a heck of a climb.
At least it was cool.
Yeah, it is a cool day. So they were saying there is water at past sunrise at the creek.
Well, we're planning on camping
Sunrise
at Echo Creek.
along there, there's a lot of campsites and stuff, and there's several spots where the creek is flowing enough.
It's a dribble, but it'll be enough to like fill up your
for
bottles.
bottles and all that.
So, and we can still fill up at Cathedral.
Yep, we can.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Congrats on almost being
Thank you.
done.
Take care.
Thank you.
Enjoy Whitney. Woo!
Morning.
Bye.
There's a good little view of Cathedral Peak up there. Looks like Notre Dame up there, or Notre Dame. And the trail, undulating now. Getting closer to the pass, of course, but kind of goes up and down a little bit. I'm presently at a Kath. She had to take a potty break. And so I'm going to wait for her at the junction up here to the Lower Cathedral Lake. And we're hoping that little stream that we saw last year when we were doing some training hiking up here is still running down to the lake, so we don't have to hike a half a mile in to get water. Alright, we're at the no wood fires permitted, and we got Cathedral Lake is half a mile. The upper Cathedral Lake level, what you're looking at there is a leftover tarn. It's pretty dry up here still. The Upper Cathedral Lake is actually just beyond those, a little piece of meadow right there, and it runs back in behind the granite. You can see there. Nice lake. I went down there and got a bag full of water. The reason I came back down here is from where we were having our lunch spot is up in those trees there. The trail goes right along the edge of those trees. But what a great view there of the Cathedral Peak up there. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, there's our last glimpse of Upper Cathedral Lake. through the trees over there. This could be possibly our last pass, Kath.
Yes.
And how are you feeling about the last pass, the 13th pass?
Well, I've got mixed feelings. I mean, I'm glad, I'm delighted we've done what we've done.
Yes.
But
It's a little sad, isn't it?
it's sad.
Because we're going to be done in just a couple of days now.
This trail has been amazing.
It has been. Yep, wonderful thing. I'm going to get my gut hooks out just to double check, but I'm pretty sure we're at the top of Cathedral Pass, which is our 13th pass.
It is. So I have to figure out how to do 13. So
Yeah, we'll figure it out
you
and then we'll
figure
do some
out
pictures.
hooks, and then I'm going to figure out 13.
The reality that we have cleared the last of 13 passes on this year's adventure brings a flood of emotions. Joy, relief, pride, a sense of accomplishment, mixed with more than a little sadness that we will soon be leaving the magnificent wild and returning to the real world. At the top of Cathedral Pass, we meet father and son, Steve and David. They are section hiking from Tuolumne Meadows to Yosemite. This will be my last conversation with fellow JMT dreamers on this year's hike, but I will cherish this moment whenever I view it because of all my own father meant to me.
Well, those are beautiful.
So you both are going to be in my YouTube movie unless you tell me you're in the Witness Protection Program.
Nobody will believe it. They saw me.
So this is the question I always ask everybody. First of all, names?
David.
Just David
Steve.
and Steve. Okay. From where?
So I'm from the East Bay.
East Bay
Orange County.
and Orange County.
Yeah.
Now here's the question. Here's the question for that. I've asked everybody because there's going to be a lot of people in my movie.
Okay.
They're going to be answering this particular question.
Okay.
What planted the seed for you to go out and try to do either the whole JMT or even a portion of the JMT? Where did that idea come from, and what was the motivator for it?
So that's a longish story.
Make
So,
it short. Make it 50 words or less.
Graduated med school, wanted to do a big trip with Dad.
Yeah.
Originally we were going to do something outside the country, but family circumstance, we wanted to stay in the country. We like outdoors. It was going to take a long time. Life goals. So,
Yeah. And the father and son. We've always
Father,
camped
son.
and backpacked
Father,
and
son.
stuff.
yeah.
And what was always great was when he was little, I'd end up carrying his pack for a part of the way, and he's been carrying my pack for a lot of
There
the
you go.
Yeah.
Payback.
There you go,
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
Well, that is awesome. Now, you guys are just section hiking. Is that correct? Did I hear
that
you
is
correctly?
correct,
Okay.
Yeah, section.
And which section are you doing today? I mean, is it just over from Tuolumne or?
Yeah.
Tuolumne, then we'll get to Happy Isles. But
Okay.
today we're going probably just Sunrise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too much farther.
Now, where are you from?
We're from Texas,
We're in Texas.
the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we actually live in a little community just north of Fort Worth,
Okay.
in Denton is the name
Denton?
of the town. Yeah, Denton,
Oh,
Texas.
I know. I'm
Familiar? Yeah.
familiar with Denton.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So that's where we live. We came out last year and we started in Horseshoe Meadows, last year, the big snow year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We delayed our trip by a month, so we started in August instead of July. So we're doing essentially the same thing that we did last year at the same time.
Yeah.
And she got hurt at
VVR.
VVR, yeah,
level 4 VVR.
Lake Edison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had to go off the trail. And when we got home, we found out she had a stress fracture in her foot as well as a bad sprain.
Yeah.
So after we talked it over, we said, you know what? We had such a good time. It was the best vacation we'd ever had.
Yeah.
We said, we're coming back. We're going to do the whole thing. We're not going to pick it up from where we left off. We're going to go start from ground zero, and we're going to go all the way this year. And here we are.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Our,
That's
our
awesome.
hiker brains got bigger. She's got a much lighter pack this year, and we really tailored the mileage to try to keep the mileage down so we
Right.
weren't doing
Yeah.
12 and 14 mile days too much,
Yeah, you're not enjoying that.
No,
You're doing that.
especially when you get to be 71 years old.
Very nice.
You
Very
know,
nice.
so pleasure meeting you, gentlemen.
Yes, nice meeting
nice
y'all.
meeting
Yes,
you.
yes, and look for it. Oh yeah, I got to give you my YouTube
Yeah, I
channel.
was gonna say, we didn't catch your names either.
My name is Sam, and this is Kathy.
Nice to
But
meet y'all.
when you get to where you got YouTube reception, put in Sam Goodrich, just like the tire.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And the movie that we did for last year is called Northbound, one word.
I'm just gonna record you saying this.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
won't write it
You
down.
don't mind.
I know is that okay?
Yeah,
I
that's
know I'm the
fine.
witness
No,
protection
that's fine. No,
for-
I'm recording you, so it's only fair.
Oh my God, it's like pictures of people taking pictures. All right.
Yeah, okay.
So go ahead and say that part again.
So go to my YouTube channel. It's Sam Goodrich. You can put that in the search engine there. Or the movie that we shot from last year is called Northbound, all one word, 168, because that's the number of miles we did before she got hurt.
Cool.
And you'll see what we did last year, and hopefully about November of this year, because we're not going to be done until almost the end of September. I got to process all the video and pictures and everything, and all the interviews that I did.
Yeah.
But look forward around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be great.
Cool.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and you guys are going to be stars.
Boy.
You're going to be
Oh, no.
stars.
Boy.
All right,
Well, hey,
nice.
thanks.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Yeah,
meeting
yeah,
you.
pleasure
All
to
right.
meet you. Both,
Good.
both. Yeah, pleasure.
Nice meeting you.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
All right.
great talking to you.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
Enjoy
you
the
too.
rest
Thanks a lot.
of the- Congrats.
All right, so I want a picture. Wait.
Yes. Okay, just a second. You got me by surprise there. All right, we're still recording, and Kath is out in front of her. What is that there you put in the dirt?
13.
A 13. And what does that represent, honey?
Because that is our 13th pass.
Yes, and it's also not just our 13th pass.
Our last pass.
It's our last pass. And where do we go from here, honey? Do we go any more up?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We're all going down.
It's going to be all downhill from here.
Down.
And long distance hikers like to hear that, except when it's straight down, right, honey?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to get your picture, and then I want you to do the same thing for me.
Okay.
All right, I think we're beginning to see our first glimpses here of the Yosemite Valley. We've actually begun to descend in earnest now down from Cathedral Pass. It's kind of funny because after we went through the meadow back there, we actually climbed up another 200 feet. It was beautiful, but that's wilderness hiking for you. We were thinking we were going to start immediately downhill, and the answer was eh. I learned a great lesson in wilderness trail management, specifically wilderness water management, yesterday and today. Do not do what I did, which was A, become complacent when water is plentiful, B, be too optimistic about conflicting water intelligence, and C, not cameling up to your maximum water carrying capacity if intelligence is sketchy, just to save yourself carrying an extra 2 to 3 pounds of water. Actually, I had to come up over the mountains yet, but it was beautiful this morning. Spent the night here last night. No water up here, so we're going to have to hike down the trail here a little ways to get to some water. We've got enough to get us the next water source. And we're doing good. So what's the plan for today, Kath?
Somewhere between 7 and 10 miles. Depends on how hard the downs are.
Okay, so that'll get us down there near Clouds Rest camp area, and then we'll make a decision about whether we're going to go down any further. Correct?
Correct.
All right.
It's
All right.
cold.
It's cold up here at 27 degrees this morning. So I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you're warm and toasty, drinking your coffee while you're watching this. Alright, here's a little serious down. This is the first serious down we've had this morning. Beautiful view here. And again, some beautiful trail work too. They've got these steps put in here. You don't get steps all the way, but at least you get a few. So the question is, what do you do when you leave the dry spot and you're heading down towards water and you know it's been dry all year? What you do is you stop at the first water source you can find, and we found this nice little spring running across the trail here. It's completely quiet in the creek bed over there on the other side. I mean, there's a little trickle going in there, but it's completely coming from sources like this, which is a spring. And so what I went down there and did was I took my coffee cup down there and I started putting water in the coffee cup, because I can't get that big old bag that we've got hanging back there underneath that water source. And we took about 10 cups of water. We put it in the dirty bag, and now we're in the process of filtering that water into the clean bag, and then we're going to put some water in our bottles and we'll proceed on down the trail. And while we're waiting, we're going to have a snack, right, honey? Thank you.
I don't know how fresh those are.
Oh, that's okay. All right, it's 3 hours into our hike today, descending down from the Sunrise Sierra high camp. Kath left you there and we'll go ahead and went on ahead and proceeded on downhill while I finished filtering the water back there where we filtered from that little spring. And it's just as good we did it there, because the Sunrise Creek, which was the next water source listed on the map, was just a trickle too. I mean, we're talking cupfuls of water trickling through there. So I'm glad we stopped when we did. We got a full load of water. I'm about half a mile past the Sunrise Creek junction down there, headed down towards the Forsyth Trail junction. Kath's up here ahead of me somewhere, and I assume she'll be stopping for a pack break or lunch here pretty shortly. I'll catch up to her. But you can see the area we're hiking through here now. Beautiful. It's like that fire damage right there. You can see some of that damage that was causing those fires that they had here last year towards the end of the summer. Well, I just caught up with Cass, who's taking a break here along this ridge line. Beautiful view here. You can see forever, of course, but you can see some of the fire damage that's occurred here over the last couple of years. Here at Yosemite, they had a pretty bad one last year, just as we were leaving. And I do believe through the forest sticking out there That's one side of Half Dome. I'm not sure which end we're looking at. Pretty sure that's it. Well, we're back in the forest, sending down from the Forsyth Trail Junction down towards Clouds Rest Trail Junction and Half Dome Trail Junction. So there's some of that water that I've been talking about. Just broke out here where we can actually see the creek on through this section of the trail. Pretty. Love to hear that running water. It means we'll have plenty to drink tonight. We had to ration last night, which means we only got a half a cup of coffee this morning instead of our normal full dose. So it'd be nice tonight to be able to plan on having a nice big 16-ounce mug of coffee in the morning, along with my Bobo bar. Alrighty, here we are, and we are at the Clouds Rest Trail Junction. 3.8 miles up that way. If you're a masochist and you've descended down to 7,000 feet and you want to have more fun on the trail, you can hike back up to like over 9,000 feet and spend the night up at Clouds Rest. Kath and I, however, are not going to do that. Are we, Kath?
Nope.
So what are we going to do, honey? Yeah, 2.8 to be exact. Yeah.
Below Yosemite Campground.
All right, so Kath is feeling good. The decision's been made. 2.8 miles down to the little Yosemite Campground, bunch of switchbacks, but we're going to take it slow. And we're going to stop and get our rest and make sure we don't have any injuries. All right, all you daredevils and thrill seekers and those of you who are totally unfamiliar with your own mortality, there is Half Dome. And somebody had the great idea of attaching a couple of cables on the side of a slick granite ball, or half a ball, and allowing people to start climbing up a 70-degree slope, which you can see over there on the left-hand side of that baby, to get to the top of Half Dome. Kath and I, because we have grandkids and kids and have become wise in our years, I'm 71, have decided we will not participate in that activity. So we wish you well, all of you Half Dome hikers, and we hope that you all survive the round trip. Valley floor 6.2. But for all you daredevils who want to go up the side of Half Dome, there's your trail right there. Woo! Alright, look at this great campsite that Kath and I ended up with here at little Yosemite Valley. Beautiful place. We're in the back lot, so to speak, and back into the campground. That's the camp boundary back there. We're unfiltered water. Here's the other camp boundary. So you can have people can't be too close to you back there. The nearest campsite to us is these guys. They're up the road over there about 25 or 30 yards away. So perfect little spot back here. Our last night on the trail. I'm gonna lay down and take a little nap this afternoon, and then get up and cook some dinner and get ready to go for tomorrow. All right, this is our final night in the wilderness, Kat. Can you believe it?
No,
38 days on the trail.
I
Oh,
know.
excuse me, in the wilderness.
Right.
And 34 days on the trail. And it just doesn't seem like tomorrow is it. I mean, we're done. How many miles have we got to go?
4.3 miles tomorrow.
4.3, and we're going to be at Happy Isles, and we'll be done with the John Muir Trail. Now, if you wonder what Kat's doing while we're interviewing, we're getting ready to have potatoes with garlic potatoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a little bacon mixed in. A really good recipe. If you've never tried it, you got to try it. It's barbecue bacon, isn't it? Bacon jerky.
This one is the I think it's got the maple in it. We
Oh,
like the
maple.
barbecue one better. But
Yeah. But still a good recipe.
Uh-huh.
So we got 10 minutes. That's why we're doing this interview. So taking us 38 days to get to this spot, and we're at the little Yosemite Valley campground tonight. You can see what a nice place it is. We got our own bear locker. It's a huge, compared to some of the places we stayed, this thing's got room for like 4 or 5 tents in it. We're the only ones back here tonight. And we'll be getting up about 6 tomorrow morning, heading down to Yosemite Valley. But I just wanted to ask Kat a couple of questions, and I'll answer the same questions that I asked her about myself. But so, how are you feeling, Kat, about getting done?
I have mixed feelings. I mean, I'm glad that we've done it. I've really enjoyed it. I don't want to leave the trail. It's been very rewarding in many ways. But I'm also anxious to get back to, to life.
Me too.
And teaching lessons and seeing my friends and,
Back to civilian life. Yeah.
It's been good though.
Yeah, let me answer that question too, and that is, I'm like Kat. I've got mixed feelings. I'm really happy. I've got that sense of accomplishment that we've done something that is really hard to do, especially for us old people to get out here and do
right.
this. 211 miles on the trail and over 250 miles total. So to me, it's been a very rewarding experience. It's challenged me in a lot of ways. It's brought me, I think, a little closer to Kat. It's definitely shown me that the Lord is a good God, and He's looked out for us on many occasions. He's either answered prayer or He's shown us that He's aware that we're out here and that we do petition Him and ask for His blessing and His protection. So lots of feelings, I'm like Kath. I'm ready to get back. The one thing that I think I missed the most, I'm going to ask her what she's missed the most, but the one thing that I think I really missed the most is we're doing this trip at the start of college football season. And I've missed watching my Texas Tech Raiders play, even if it's just on TV. But we had such a good time here the last couple of years going to the football games there in Lubbock and enjoying that. So that is the only single thing that I can point to that I've really missed as far as my civilian life goes. How about you, Kath? Is there anything in particular, anything stand out? No?
It really does. Well, I've missed church.
Yeah, me too. I miss church. This was
we
Tommy
have
preach.
Right. We have gotten such fabulous lessons and teachings from Tommy, and
Right.
so we really missed that.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's probably in there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what's the first thing that you want to get to eat or drink when we get done?
Well, this trail food hasn't been all that bad.
No. No, I've enjoyed it. I haven't gotten bored with it yet.
I mean, there's a couple things that I
wouldn't want to do again?
You know, well, I'd do it again on a trip,
Okay.
you know, on a hike.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We had our couple of times, like at Reds and MTR, where we had some really good food,
We did.
and that satisfied me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, in
So-
fact, our stay in Lee Vining was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was.
So we, you know, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But we're actually talking about when we get done tomorrow, when we get back to our truck, we're gonna head up to wine country and spend a couple days up there before we head home. Try to get to stay at one of our favorite places at the water's edge up there in Tiburon, right, Kath?
That's right.
So while I'm driving, Kath is going to be busily, frantically calling over there to see if they don't have some availability and see if we can't stay there for a couple of days. Go up to a couple of our favorite haunts up there in wine country.
Gomez.
Gomez.
Fish.
Yeah, if you've never been to San Francisco and down on the wharf, or even if you have been to San Francisco and down the wharf, but you've never been to Skomas, you definitely have to look that place up because it is one of the premier Kath and I's favorite places to go to have seafood in the
Yeah. Little pricey, but
Yeah.
it's well worth it.
Right. When you-
Service is great.
Absolutely.
Food is fabulous.
Absolutely. So, what is your most outstanding impression, or the thing that stands out right now, just as we're talking tonight, about what you did on the trail? Is there any one thing that stands out?
Well,
A place, a pass, a hike, a day?
no, I mean, nothing really stands out because it was all good.
Yeah. What's the prettiest place you've been to on the trail?
Well, I loved the lakes area, the Gem Lakes,
Right.
the Sapphire and
Ruby,
Emerald.
Thousand Island.
Those lakes, those forested kind of lakes, oh, just so incredibly gorgeous.
Yeah, I have to say that I would second that from Kath. And I thought the Forester Pass to me was I think it's one of my all-time favorites because number one, it's the tallest pass on the JMT. But the other place that really stood out to me was Banner Peak there at Thousand
that
Island
was
Lakes.
gorgeous.
That night we spent out there was just absolutely, yeah, it was. It's one of the prettiest places I think I've been to since we started this trip. And of course, hiking in here today and looking at Half Dome, I'll tell you what, I got to hand it to people that want to get up there and try to climb up that thing.
You're crazy. Keep
They are-
talking. I'm
they
going
are
to go get a
crazy.
rag to
Okay,
wipe my hands.
she's going to go get a rag. Should be all right. We're getting closer. That dome's that way. That's where we just came from. Blackwoods Press, Tenaya Lake, Tuolumne Meadows. This is John Muir Trail. This is the one we want. This is the one down to Nevada Fall and Yosemite Valley, which is exactly where we want to be. 1.2 miles to Nevada Fall and 4.7 miles to Yosemite Valley.
Yeah, that's if you take the mid trail.
We're not taking this trail. That's great. So we're on the way. And Mr. Guthooks confirms that we are on the way.
Almost immediately after we hit the trail, opposite direction trail traffic appears. Day hikers, joggers, half-dome climbers, mixed with a few section and through hikers like us. The trail traffic is steady and a little disconcerting. We haven't seen people in these kind of numbers on the trail since we left Horseshoe Meadows 35 days ago.
Rush hour has begun. Yes. I'm not turning this camera off until they stop coming from the opposite direction. They could be on for an hour or two.
It takes us 45 minutes to hike to the east end of the Mist Trail, where the human traffic will get even heavier.
All right, we're a tenth of a mile above Nevada Falls. We'll see how falling the Nevada Falls are. I can hear water running, but not very hard. Normally when you come to a waterfall, there's the distinct roar to it, and this sounds kind of trickly, but we'll see. It might be beautiful. All right. So there's a view beginning at the top of the falls, and I'm sure it drops off there and goes down quite a ways. You check out the view of the valley. Gorgeous. That's Yosemite Valley, folks. As good as it gets. A little water running over there. good view of Nevada Fall right there. It's not roaring, but it's beautiful. It's like little pieces of angel hair going over there. The west end of the Mist Trail, which means you'll only be a mile from Happy Isles. So we're making progress. I'm going to take a pack break down here when we get down here. As we begin our last mile on the JMT, trail traffic turns into a flood and our thoughts turn inward. The reality that our 211-mile adventure will end within the hour begins to sink in. The excitement of realizing the accomplishment of our dream is mixed with sadness at having to leave the magnificent and wild beauty of the past 35 days. As we forge through the crowds on our descent to Happy Isles, our memories become stepping stones to carry us through the tide. So many beautiful places. Mount Whitney, Forester Pass, Middle Fork Trail Camp, Muir Hut, Evolution Lake, Muir Trail Ranch, Lake Edison, Red's Meadow, Thousand Island Lake, Banner Peak, Tuolumne Meadows, Cathedral Pass, Little Yosemite Valley Camp. So many wonderful people we met along the way. Trilby, Paul and Paula, Steve, Corey and Terry, Joe and Nam, Ranger Rob, Ari, Colin and Jessica, Nancy and Jan, Danny and Chrissy, Tira, Maggie, Carrie, Alfred, Pam, Sandy, Henry, Erez and Ori, Nancy and Nina, Tom, Miriam, Ken and Barb, Catwater and Maureen, Lance and Mike, Doug, Ranger Camps, Steve and David, Nancy and Nina, Jose, Carrie and Ted, Ranger Victor, Ranger Sam. We realize how precious our mortal time is in God's magnificent creation, and the urgency with which we need to pursue our dreams before it is too late. And we pray that the good Lord would grant us the time, the energy, and the physical strength to accomplish those dreams.
Before we realize it, we find ourselves crossing the Happy Isles Bridge, living the final few steps of our incredible adventure.
No, a little light on the water. Happy Isles. Happy Isles. Here we go. Whew. And there, my friends, is what we've been waiting on, isn't it, Kat?
Yep.
Happy Isles Nature Center. We both get one of these, so this isn't just a one thing.
Ooh.
But in honor of you completing your 210 mile and 4/10 miles on the JMT, that's yours.
Oh boy.
You
Oh,
gotta be able
cool.
to read it though.
2018 John Muir Trail through Hike, Horseshoe Meadow, Happy Isles. Yay. Thank you, sweetie. How cool is
And
that?
with that, our dream, our adventure is finished. But there are other dreams and other adventures out there. After the credits, see what Kath and I have planned for 2019. So are you guys still here? This is the end of the movie.
They didn't give up on us.
Oh, they didn't. All right.
I
Well,
guess
you want to
not.
know what? I guess if you stuck around this long after the credits, you must want to know what we're going to be doing in 2019. So Kath and I are going to give you a brief description of what we're going to do. And if you could, over just a little bit, honey, I want to show them the map here first. I don't know whether you can see all this. The glare in here is pretty bad. But this is a map of Washington State. And what we're planning on doing, starting on July the 1st of 2019, we're going to be starting at the Bridge of the Gods, located on the southern state line of Washington and Oregon. And we're going to go 514 miles to the north to the end of the PCT in Washington, the monument there, and then the 8 miles on into
Manning.
Park in British Columbia. So that's our next dream and our next adventure. And we have officially got our PCT long distance permits, which is only for people that are going to be hiking 500 miles or further, right, honey?
That's right.
So we've got our permits in hand, and Kath is going to show you a couple of the books we're going to be using for this year's research into our
our hiking.
Right. Well, first, the half-mile maps are awesome. We've taken these and planned our resupply and, you know, some basic ideas about how many miles we're going to do a day and that kind of thing. But those are awesome. Free downloads off the internet. So half miles
And
maps.
and you can find those just by going to the PCTA, the Pacific Crest Trail Association website, and look for maps in there, and they'll give you a link where you can download the half-mile maps.
Yeah.
along this.
And then this Hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, this is published by the Mountaineer Press, is excellent. I've really enjoyed looking through this. It gives you a lot of detail about different campsites, trails, resupply points, the fauna, the whatever. And it's beautiful. There's great pictures in here, and it's just fun reading. And again, it really helps for planning purposes. This particular book we've used a little bit, but found out that the mile numbers on this and the mileage numbers on half miles maps don't match up, and so that's been a little bit of a challenge. We are currently waiting for the Blackwoods Press maps. We've pre-ordered them, so the one for Washington.
Yes.
So when we get that, we're hoping that it'll be really similar to the one that he did for the JMT, which, you know, marked everything, water, campsites, you know, everything. It was really great. So we're hoping that the one for Washington will be equally as great.
So we're glad you stuck around after the credits, and hope to see you if you happen to be hiking in Washington this summer. Be looking for us, because our hike is going to start on July the 1st and end when, honey?
Like September, mid-September sometime, early mid.
12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in that neighborhood. So happy hiking, and this is Sam and Kath out.